Hello, everybody. So, since we are now in the official position of knowing where we stand and making these videos more religious based and less political, far less political, I am going to do a long video here with kind of my backstory on religion. So, I grew up LDS, was LDS up until about 2004, 2005, something like that. I was baptized on my 8th birthday. Normally, that is not the case. Normally, it's a little, you're usually 3 to 6 months into your 8th year before you get baptized into the Mormon church, LDS church, pardon me. I think more people know it as the Mormon church than the LDS church, but it is actually the LDS church. And honestly, it never fit. It never felt right to me. So I became a pagan, not realizing a lot of things. And so, as such, I eventually started to back down on that last year, as a matter of fact, last December. I went into a very serious depression, had some certain kinds of thoughts that we won't say, but I'm sure you can get it through hint, and turned myself once again, toward the Christian God. And I started praying for what church to join, what church will accept me and welcome me, and that I can be a part of the family of. And that was the answer, was the Episcopal Church, which is now where I'm at. I started going to church in February. I got tested very hard when it came to that because my best friend was in a wheelchair at the time, and I'm a caregiver for her full time. And well, we hit a pothole getting off the bus because I didn't have a car at the time. And her wheelchair hit my left ankle really hard and actually sprained it. So that was the first test of endurance on seeing if I was going to make it. And sure enough, we still went. She was asking if we should turn around and go home, and I said no. I made a promise to God to do this, and I'm going to stick to that. And I did. And I have been going to church ever since. I might occasionally miss a day if I'm not feeling well, or back when I didn't have a car, if I couldn't get a ride. But aside from that, I have done really well. And over the last month and a half, maybe 2 months, I'm not sure, I have been getting a feeling of going in, like being told that I eventually need to approach the idea of becoming a member of ministry in the Episcopal Church. Not something that I ever thought about in my life. I never thought I'd become a minister of any kind, or ministress. I'm not sure how that's, it's confusing anyway. But I never thought I'd end up doing any of that. I've never had the feeling of it. And fortunately for me, I have an amazing vicar who has been a mentor. He has guided me. He's included me in so much with the church, with my parish. I was going to say with the church, but it's with my parish. I have been very blessed. He's prepared me to understand just exactly what church-going people can be like, but I already know. I've grown up in some, let's say, questionable LDS wards where there were cliques and bullying and stuff. Plus, growing up the way I did, I had a different background as well because of some bullying going on from step siblings, step parent, and such. So, yeah, I understand it, and I can definitely do what I need to do. I am more than happy to do what I can. That being said, I have become very strong in my convictions of Christ. I can tell you for a fact that he loves all of us. That if we read the Bible and pray, it will help our lives a great deal. I've been so very, very lucky to gain testimony in Christ and get help with going through those darker moments in my life that I've had. I just hope to be able to share that with other people. Ultimately, that is exactly my goal. That's why we're leaving politics behind. I prayed after I asked for feedback from everybody. I prayed and I got an automatic answer. Do online ministry. I don't have to be a minister to do online ministry because I can just help people find their way back. And that is exactly what we have to do. In fact, last night I read a letter from Paul to the Romans about his worries about his people and the way that they were doing with their finding their way back to God because they didn't believe in Christ. And it scared him. And I don't blame him. I worry about people finding their way back, especially in these difficult times. These times are not easy for anybody right now. Especially me being a transgender woman, there is the chance of prosecution. And I think that's another part of this that we're going to discuss is, since we're staying away from politics, we'll explore Christianity and my views being a transgender woman, because it's not always easy. I mean, you get people who think that they are Bible thumpers and they want to say that the Bible means this and this and this. And it doesn't always, does it? So that's where this channel is going to go. This channel is going to go more into the depth of Christianity and, of course, my personal exploration with being the fact that I'm a trans woman and my relationship with Christ. We will also discuss a little bit more about myself. I do want you guys to get to know me pretty decent. And so we will go into that as well. And I might even be able to talk a little bit about, other issues that I've got going on, mental health and such. I don't want to sound too much like Princess Diana, because let's be honest, she tried really hard to bring a lot of her mental health and tried to just bring in general mental health awareness to the globe. She was an amazing woman. Don't get me wrong, I think she really was. But I still support Queen Camilla. I support King Charles III as well. And that is about as far in politics that we're going to get. Anyway, I want to let you guys know I appreciate you very much. I love each and every one of you that watches these videos, even if I don't know you. You are my brothers and sisters in God and Christ. And I'm always here. If anybody needs to talk, you're welcome to. I'm more than happy to talk to you. I can give the best advice I possibly can. I'm not a licensed therapist, but I am more than happy to give advice where I can. Please like, subscribe, and comment on my videos if you want. I can always appreciate feedback. I can always take questions. I will do my best to read every single comment that there is until we get to be a big channel. Then it's going to be a lot harder. But those of you that are starting early on will probably get to be part of that if you want. Anyway, again, God bless. Have a great night.